What is it that we're really trying to learn about the resources of any given land base? Okay, first, within any area, we need to know the volume of timber. We need to know, like, for example, our fir trees, how big they are, what are their diameter classes, what are their grades. And we need to not only learn that for the fir. Here's an example of the total average of all the fir trees, but the hemlock, the cedar, and all the other species. We need to measure them for volume and quality. Okay, and that gives us, in an area such as a block, that'll give us a number like this: 4,813 cubic meters of good wood, which is divided into all of these different grades, some of it really good, some of it not so great. But this is the information that we need. Okay, there are two ways to collect information about the forest. One is from the air and the other is from the ground, and they both have their pros and cons. Okay, here's an example from the air. The pros of the air is we get to see everything. We get to count all the trees, as it were. It's a comprehensive view of the landscape. The con is that we mainly just see the crowns of the trees. This, of course, means we can learn a whole lot about stems per hectare, a fair amount about species, a lot about the dead trees, stressed trees, about the shape of our roads, washouts from an oblique angle, possibly even some heights. And everything is current. It's right up to date. There's nothing that's old about this. So the air game is very, very, very important, but it isn't everything. For example, it tells us quite a bit, okay, about stems per hectare, and it cuts it into species and things, but it gives us nothing about grades, nothing about volumes, nothing about the stuff that we need to get in here. And so it's important that we guard against extrapolating to the point where it becomes mere guesswork. Since it's easy and it's cheap to do, it's always tempting to do that. The ground game's best feature is its pristine high quality. We actually see and measure the trees up close and personal. We grade them for quality because we can actually see them and we can measure them. Okay? The problem with this is that we assume that the rest of the forest that we can't see is exactly like the forest that we can see. And that's where the problem comes in. Of course, we run statistics on all this stuff to see how much variation there is in our point measurements, and we do all that. But still, there's a lot of room for the unknown. The question is there a way to combine the two methods and their technologies to give us the best of both worlds? Can we have the comprehensive view that we get from the air, combine that with the upfront, close, and personal view that we get from the ground? Is there a way to do that?
Okay, is it possible to integrate the two so that the pros of both are maximized and that the cons are minimized? Well, it's our adventure to do just that and to keep our expenses extremely low and the quality extremely high. So let's go for it. Let's see how it's done.